stream. Today we're going to be talking about Archer Generals. Which Archer General is the best to use? Which is the best to use if you're trying to play free to play? Which is the best to use if you're pay to play? Alright, of course, first, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you can leave a comment asking what you want to see in the next video. If you guys need help on anything, make sure to leave a comment and I'll make a video on it. If you want to add me, player ID shown, take those numbers, go to your friends, recommend, type it in here, hit the magnifying glass. You'll be able to add me that way. Cross server, don't matter. Alright, first half of this video, we're going to be talking about the best Archer General to use if you're playing free. As in, you have no way of getting general tokens. You have no way of purchasing packs to get general tokens. This part's very easy, considering there's only 2 free Archer Generals you can use. Stupid screenshots. Alright. First one will be Edward the Black Prince. 38 million gold, you can recruit him in the tavern. You don't need a token, you just need patience. You just need to refresh your tavern until he shows up. He gives you a 25% ranged troop attack off his Rain of Arrows buff. Specialties give you 10 and 10. A debuff to the enemy. 10s across the board, 2 26s. This is if you're free to play. No, not many options really for Archer Generals when it comes to free to play. He's not that great, but he's the only one, as well as one other, that's worth using. That second one that I speak of is I forgot where he's at. Japan? I think he was China. Yeah. Li Shimin. Personally, to me, he is the best free-to-play archer. He's available in the tavern. Only 32 million gold. He'll give you a 15% buff, as well as a 10% march increase. 2 10s. March increase and a 10. Death into troop soul rate in the main city. And then he gives you 26s across the board. That's where he differs from the Black Prince. Both of them offer 2 10s with a random third perk for specialties. Black Prince offers debuff. He offers death into troop soul rate in the main city. But on the final specialty, he offers 3 26s across the board. Plus the march size increase is nice. Now, when it comes to skill books to Archer Generals, mainly there's 3 skill books you're going to use. It's going to be range, troop, range. It's going to be range, troop, attack, and it's going to be range, troop, HP. Now, when we get into the pay-to-play generals, there is one who is on the top of the list who's very well. He can't have an attack equipped, so instead of attack, you're either going to add the defense, range troop defense, or if you want to go march size increase. I go range troop defense. So now when it goes into pay to play, general tokens, I'd say there's 4 Archer Generals that you can't go wrong with. One of them is actually the free general of January. We're 11 days in. If you haven't been claiming your mini, you might want to start now. You still could get up to 21 left. You need 30 to make the token. I already have a mini I'm still collecting. 12 in. So let's get into the top 4 Archer Generals in my opinion. This is in no particular order. I'm just starting with Europe. Gonna make my way down. Alfred the Great. in my opinion, he's top 2. You could go 1 or 2. You really can't go wrong with the top 4. But he's top 2, Alfred. Why is he top 2? His base buffs alone, you got 117 leadership, 112, 116, with almost near 9s on the enhancements. Not that big of a deal, but he's on the higher end. His Great King skill, it increases your ranged troop attack by 30%. The good thing about him is you get that 30%, and you can still add an attack skill book, which is going to give you extra 25 if it's a level 4. Now his specialties is where he takes off. You got 10% attack and defense for ranged. 10% range attack with a march increase. 10% attack, HP, and defense. 35% overall attack. Good thing about Alfred that stands him out from some others is he doesn't need a pasture general. He doesn't need any general. I mean a dragon. He doesn't need a pasture dragon. He doesn't need a specific dragon. Of course you're going to use a dragon. You're going to use a dragon on any of your attacking generals, defense generals. Of course. That's a given. But some require specific pasture, which really screws it up. If you don't have a range pasture dragon. And we'll get there. Alright, so Alfred, like I said, he's top 2. The following one, he's also top 2. That is Simeon the Great. He's fairly new. Not many people have him, being that he is fairly new. What he offers, Empire Offensive. He increases your ranged troop attack by 20%. I know it says range and siege, but we're specifically talking archer generals. And he increases it by another 15% when he brings any dragon. That any dragon is a big factor because, like I said, some generals require specifically pasture, some require any. The ones that require any are much better. The only pasture archer dragon that's worth, I guess not worth using, but the best pasture archer dragon is Latin, and he's very limited. Not many people have. Celtic Demon, he does offer archer buff. He is also pasture. So he's going to be the one you're going to be using. We'll get into that. Simeon the Great, specialties. 10 attack, 10 defense. 10 attack, plus march size. 6 attack to all troops. 35% marching range attack and range defense. This is where he differs. This all troops attack 6%. That may be his only downfall compared to Alfred the Great, who's all range across the board. But his last specialty is better than Alfred the Great, who only offered 36 range attack, whereas Simeon's offering range and defense. I mean attack and defense. Simeon the Great, Alfred the Great, top 2 archer generals in Evony. If you have either one of them, look no further. The following 2 are also great archer generals. If you have wasted gems and runestones, enhancing the following 2, it may not be worth enhancing an Alfred or Simeon if you get it later on. I haven't. If I was to get Alfred or Simeon, I would not enhance simply because I have a near maxed Minimoto, and he is top 4 in my opinion. I forgot where he's at. I want to talk about him next. Gonna do a little searching, soul searching real quick. Alright. Minimoto, no, you shits on me. Free General of the Month. Last 2 free Generals of the Month were Shajar. I'm shocked Evony did that. That is, in alts heaven right there. It was very nice of them to do that. Probably the first thing they did decent in a while. This month, they did pretty well as well with Minimoto, considering he is a top 4 Archer General, in my opinion. We'll go over his stats and why he's only top 4 and not top 2. So the attack of the ranged troops that are led by the general increases by 25%. Additionally, if he brings a pasture dragon, it increases by an additional 15%. That's where he differs from Simeon, where you can bring any dragon, which means you can bring a wonder or a pasture. Minimoto, you can only bring a pasture dragon to get that 15% buff. His specialties: 10 to attack, 10 to HP, 10 to attack, 10 to attack, 10 to HP, 10 to defense, 46 to attack when bringing any general. That's where he stands out the most. The past two were 36 and 1, 35 for attack and defense. Mini brings the highest attack with the 46. The only reason why Minimoto's not top 1 or 2 is because you cannot add a ranged troop attack skill book to him. So that extra 25% you're missing out on. Again though, if you have one, he's cultivated, you put some runestones into him, he's top 4 Archer General. Just know that all top 4 Archer Generals are not that much. There's not much give or take to be worried about. You know, you're not going to be stressing over it. They're all fairly close. If Mini was able to add a range attack, he'd probably be 1 or 2, but you can't. The Pasture Dragon, you're going to want to attach a Celtic to him, unless you're fortunate enough to have received Aladdin and you've cultivated a max stat or whatever, fed it all the way. Then you're going to go with that. Yeah. So the 4th Archer General, and the last one on my list for top 4 that are not in the tavern, is Electra. Electra gives you a 15% attack with range, and an extra 20% when you bring a Pasture Dragon. So like I said, she's just like Mini. You're going to smack a Celtic on her, or Aladdin if you got it. You get the 10 to attack, 10 to HP on the first, 10 to attack with a March size on the second, 10 to attack, 10 to HP, 10 to defense on the third, and then you're getting an extra 26% range attack. The good thing about Electra, as opposed to Mini, you can smack a skill book on her for 25%. Mini's the only one that you can't smack a skill book on of range attack. If you have either one of these 4, if you have Alfred, you got Simeon, you got Minimoto, you got Electra, you can't go wrong with all of them. You can't go wrong really. But like I said, Alfred and Simeon are top 2. So if you happen to open 2 tokens and you open the Alfred and you open in a Mini, you're gonna go with the Alfred. I hope that doesn't happen to you because you don't need 2 Archer Generals. So I'm going to show you how I built my Archer General. What gears I've used. Obviously, this is more towards endgame with Ares gear, H gear, Dragon, such and such. So I use Minimoto. I went 4 Ares gear, 2 H gear, so you get the full buff sets from each. At the same time, they were the best gear to choose anyway, so it just kind of worked itself out. You're going to want to go with the Fearless ring, because it offers you the extra 30% attack, 30% defense. Obviously, if you're refining, you want to go all range on your refines, because it is your range general. I went with the Courageous Leg Armor, because it offers a range attack 22%. By doing so, you get the 2 set attribute for the H gear, which gives you a plus 10% all troops attack. You're going to go to Fearless Ares helmet, offering you another range attack for 22%. Fearless Ares boot gives you the range troop HP. The Fearless Ares armor. See, now this one doesn't offer anything towards range, and now that I'm looking at it, I believe that there was no chest piece that offered anything towards range. I just chose this one because it was just the one I chose. No, nothing in particular. We're going to go over chest pieces just to double check on that one. And then the Ares bow. The Ares bow is better than the H bow because it offers a marching range troop attack plus 22%. The other does not. So you get the 45 plus 22. Refine. This general is made for pasture dragon. I don't have a pasture dragon on it. I use a Nihog. Reason being, you can refine Nihog up to 25%, whereas Celtic you can only refine up to 15%. So I've refined my dragon to where it benefits me more to have him as opposed to a Celtic. The 15% extra doesn't matter as far as pasture. I do use my Celtic, but he's on my ground general. I have Aladdin, but I'm still feeding him. He's only level 5. I haven't got a chance to fully refine him at all, so we'll get there. Most players, you're going to use Celtic on your Arch General if it requires a pasture dragon. Don't follow my footsteps with Mihawk. Now we're going to check chest pieces just to double check that there is none that offer a range buff. We'll start by the Ares chest piece. We'll start by the H. Alright, so this offers in-city range, which I don't care about because he's marching. This one offers siege, which I don't care about because he's range. And the Ares gear. Oh, would you look at that? So you're going to want the Courageous Ares armor to get the ranged troop HP. I have no clue why I don't have that equipped. Don't go with the Fearless. Go with the Courageous Ares armor. It's going to offer you probably 22% range HP after you've maxed it to complete your full set on your range general. I was trying to question myself if I actually have a chest piece somewhere else and I've accidentally swapped the wrong one in. Check my Electra. Nope. Son of a gun. Alright, I'm gonna have to focus on that next. It's a good thing I made this video, taught myself something. So go with the Courageous Ares armor chest piece. Other than that, you're good to go when we're following the pieces I've chosen. Alright. In conclusion, get it over. Electra, Minimoto, Simeon, Alfred, top 4 Archer Generals in the game. If you're new, you don't want to put no money into the game, you can't get a token. Minimoto is the free general of the month. Get him. If you haven't been able to get him, Li Shin and Edward are the only 2 free Archer Generals available. Lee's going to be your best option. Like I said in the beginning, like, comment, subscribe. If you need information, you need help on anything else, comment what video you want me to make next. Comment anything that you need help on. Feel free to add me in game. Message me. I will help. I'm not going to charge you like some people are trying to do on Facebook.